Welcome guys to a brand new video today. Please like, please subscribe, and let's get right into the video guys. Today we're going to be discussing household pets. These are not just any ordinary household pets, no. These are, what I'm going to be talking about today is Peanut the squirrel and Fred the raccoon. Two animals that were well taken care of by this guy named Mark. And he really took care of these animals. As you can see on his videos, he really loved these two animals dearly. He really did. And across all like 3 different platforms, I think TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook, he had over 3 million subscribers. Amazing, just amazing. So he was doing great for himself, and he was doing great for the pets too. And to be honest with you guys, this is kind of unjust, this story. So let's start off with Fred. Fred don't really have too much of a backstory that I know of, but he did rescue Fred the raccoon. Now, Peanut has a different story. Now, Mark was walking down the street one day, and he had seen with his own eyes that Peanut, the squirrel, his mother got ran over by a car. And she was, she perished right there and then. And he saw Peanut, the little squirrel, survived. So he had taken Peanut in because, it was a baby. So he nursed him, he fed him and everything. So he was strong enough to be put back into the wild. Once he was old enough to live by himself, he put him outside. And what happened is that the squirrel returned. So we're talking about Peanut coming back to Mark right outside his home. Right outside his home with injuries. So he had injuries to his tail. He had scratches on him and all kinds of things. You can only imagine he probably got attacked by other animals out there. So, because he was still pretty small. So it came back to him and Mark felt really bad for him. So he nursed him back to health. Nursed him back to good health, guys. That takes a lot of time and patience. He nursed him back to health. And it's a squirrel, don't forget. So he nursed this beautiful squirrel back to health. And, after a time, he said, you know what? He tried to put him back outside. And the squirrel wanted to stay with him. Mark, being a great guy that he is, he took the squirrel in and loved that squirrel like it was his child. So I don't understand this horrible story, how this even happened. I'm thinking that it happened because of a troll on the internet. How I know this is because it came from a total different state. The anonymous call that was called in and said both animals had rabies in the home. Now, Mark lives in, I think it is in New York, in Pine City, New York. That's it. Pine City, New York, guys. Now, every state has different rules. And, I mean, to be honest with you, they came in with search warrants. So if they come in with search warrants, inside your home, there's nothing really you could do about it. And Mark was caught off guard because he had no idea this was coming for him. So when he had the search warrant right outside his home, I would be shocked myself. And then the police knocking on your door, the special or wildlife police, the DEC officers came there too. And they just ransacked this man's home for hours and hours on end without Mark knowing anything because he had to wait outside. It's a horrible story, guys. So they ransacked this guy's home for hours on end, Mark not knowing a thing. They finally found Fred, Fred the raccoon, and Peanut the squirrel. And they had taken him in. Mark still not knowing what's going to happen to his pets that he has. He has no idea. He has no idea, guys. There's not even updates. This man has to be calling every 5 minutes, and they still not giving him anything. Any updates. The only update Mark had got, which is sad, on Friday. And that's the same day, guys, they did it. So they ransacked his house on Friday. And then the same day, they put the poor animals down, his pets. They put them down. They did. They euthanized them both. They euthanized them both because the caller basically said that, hey, these pets have rabies. Now, I don't know the procedure to the rabies, how you check it or anything like that. Because I never dealt with anything like that, guys. So I'm not too sure. But when I read the article, is a little crazy to me. It just don't sound right. So they euthanized the animals. And then after they euthanized the animals, they checked for rabies. They checked for rabies after the fact that they already euthanized them. So these animals are no longer living with us. And now they're checking for rabies. Does that make any sense to you guys? I don't know, because that really doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you check after the fact that you euthanize the animals for rabies? They're already down. Maybe it's to protect themselves, I think. But you would think it would be in reverse. You would check, right, for the rabies. And if they had them, then maybe, yeah, okay, you put them down because there's no cure for rabies, right? So you put them down after the fact that, you know, you've checked already and, you know, oh, no, it's positive. Okay, so now we don't have a cure for rabies and these animals are obviously dangerous. So let's put them both down. And the fact that they, you know, did that, you know, without checking first, to me is disgusting. You know, they had loving home. They weren't bothering anybody. A lot of people say, oh, no, raccoons and squirrels, they're a menace to the gardens. They're a menace to, like, just society. They, you know, tear things up and everything. But don't forget, this raccoon and squirrel was house trained very well. You can see in the videos, Mark's house is very clean. He lives in a very clean home. It's not like they're ransacking his house every second. They live there in his home for day and night. So, I mean, you can't tell me that these animals can't be trained well. Obviously, train them well, the raccoon and the squirrel. And, you know, to be honest with you, it's disgusting, man. It's really disgusting. Even though they did it right. They came with a warrant and this and that. But someone on the internet obviously didn't like the fact that Mark had these animals. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they're miserable. They're probably miserable people. In fact, that it shouldn't even happen, bro. I mean, come on, guys. To be honest with you, this is disgusting. That's like someone coming in your home and taking your dog. You know, think about it. Maybe that's how it is for him. Maybe that's how he sees his animals. Like the same way as someone loves a cat or loves a dog. It might be the same way someone loves a squirrel or a raccoon. Like, seriously, this is just a fact. You know, an animal it's not based on how it looks or what it is. If you love the animal, you love the animal. As simple as that. So, I mean, he looked at it as a child. So, to be honest with you, this is absolutely disgusting. I still can't believe this happened. You know, they should at least kept Mark in the loop and let him, hey, you know, we're working on this. Hey, we're checking for rabies. Hey, we're doing this, we're doing that. They kept him in none of the loop. He had no idea what was happening. And the only call he got is, hey, your pets have been euthanized. I mean, guys, like, really? That's disgusting if you ask me. The fact that they even called him to even tell him that, you know, the animal's just been euthanized and that's it. That's all she wrote. That alone is disgusting, man. I hope Mark gets justice for this. I hope this never happens again. I know in every state they have different, you know, laws and this and that. But, man, they could at least give those animals a chance. Those animals could have had a chance, man. They could at least look at his videos, too. To say, hey, wow, these pets, I wonder if they really have rabies. Let's at least look at his videos. I mean, it wouldn't take them even 5 minutes. They could skim through it if they didn't want to watch the whole thing. I mean, he has TikTok videos, too. You know how quick those are. Those last for, like, less than a minute, some of them. I mean, come on. It's just, like, a fact of a little research here and there that could have changed a lot. You know, and maybe they would have said you can't have it in your home. But at least Mark could have at least made something in his backyard, maybe. I mean, if he can't have it in his own home that he pays his mortgage for, then at least he could have it in his own backyard, right? I mean, come on, guys. This is, to me, this is disgusting. It's like you have no freedom at all, you know, to be honest with you, when it comes to certain things. And animals, you know, like this, they're not just regular animals, guys. They're not just, this is like his family members. So it's like, you know, this is, to me, this is disgusting. I could see the hurt in his heart about this. You could literally see it. And he is not too happy at all. And I wouldn't be either, guys, to be honest with you. They put my pet down like that. And it doesn't, as I said, some people even love rats, guys. You know, snakes and all kinds of things. That's the crazy part. That's why a lot of people don't understand. Some people rather a snake over a dog. Now, how's that sound? Let that settle in for a little bit. A snake. I know I hate those things myself. But if someone rather a snake than a dog, I mean, you probably think they're loopy, right? But no, some people have different loves for different things. So it's not everyone's the same. Not everyone's going to love a dog and a cat, guys. Not everybody has dogs and cats in their homes. Some people have reptiles, you know, lizards, different kinds of things, you know, that a lot of people couldn't comprehend. Like, oh, why would you have that? Spiders and this and that. Why would you have that? Because they have different, you know, different tastes for different things, guys. Not everyone has the same taste for everything. So this is where I'm going with this. So you guys can understand a little bit better where I'm coming from with this, because to me, this is unjust and it should never happen. The poor guy has to live with this now that he couldn't do a thing about, you know, to save his animals, which is disgusting. They can at least communicate back and forth with the dude and say, hey, man, I'm sorry, but, you know, your animals have rabies. At least give them a chance, guys. At least give them a chance. And they came back negative for rabies. Oh, I'm surprised. Of course they did. Of course they came back negative for rabies. The animals had no problems with them. It just took, as I said, 5 minutes. 5 minutes out of your day. That's it. It probably took them longer to drive there, right? They just had to take 5 minutes of their day, just quickly go on TikTok, you know, search in peanut, you find her immediately, and then just watch the video. Oh, wow. You know, it looks like the squirrel's getting along with him. It looks like this squirrel is well trained. Better than a lot, even cats and dogs. It's amazing how this guy trained this thing. Because the squirrel looked at him as a family member, and he looked at the squirrel as a family member. This is the way it works, guys. The squirrel didn't know any better. The squirrel probably saw him as his dad. So, you know what I mean? So this is like, this is nuts, man. I just can't believe this, guys. But I got a video here that we could watch today. And we'll just watch this real quick and go over it. But, man, they had this warrant. This is the warrant right here. And I still can't believe, you know, there's nothing, as I said, there's nothing you could do, guys. I mean, there's nothing you could do, man. Once they come with this, it's like, boop, it's nothing you could do, you know. But anyway, let's watch the video, guys. And, wow, yeah, let's watch the video.
Search warrant said Longo was in unlawful possession of wildlife. He says agents ransacked his property for 5 hours until they found Peanut and Fred the raccoon.
We complied. We weren't allowed to move. We were police escorted into the bathroom. Mind you, this is a search warrant for a squirrel and a raccoon. And I feel like this was a little bit of an overkill.
Longo says he was working on the necessary paperwork to be able to legally own Peanut as an educational animal.
You're not only hurting my family by taking Peanut away from me, but you're also hurting the organization that we started on the back of a rescue squirrel. We named this organization Peanut's Freedom Farm because he has been such a big portion of my life and so many people around the world. You know, we promoted the fact that squirrels are not good pets. They don't deserve to be inside, but there are rare occasions where you stumble on an animal that unfortunately can't survive in their normal habitat. That's the only reason why Peanut was ever a rescue animal.
Longo says he rescued Peanut 7 years ago in New York City after the squirrel's mom was hit by a car. He says he rehabbed Peanut and tried to release him into his backyard. But Longo says Peanut never developed the instincts to survive outside. After Peanut was attacked by an animal and lost half his tail, Longo let Peanut live in his home.
And then he became best friends with my cat. So that's when we turned to social media. We put some funny and silly videos out there, and the internet loved him. He became the world's most famous squirrel.
Peanut racked up a combined 3 million followers on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Longo says he believes Peanut's fame led to someone filing a complaint.
I'm no expert in anything involving politics of the state, but they sent 6 to 8 officers to my house from Albany to confiscate a squirrel and a raccoon, and it was signed off on a search warrant. So just that in its sense, to say that is one of the most shocking things I could say, in my opinion, is we just used resources and spent an entire day sitting 2 people who run a nonprofit animal rescue and treat